Well, distinguished guests, it gives me a great pleasure to welcome you to the official launch of Consumer Awareness and Financial Enlightenment Initiative. This initiative is a non-governmental organization dedicated to driving financial literacy and consumer awareness in Nigeria. Since commencement, we have had extensive consultation with public and private institutions, religious institutions, regulators, profit and non-governmental organizations who are charged with oversight responsibilities across the financial services industry. We have had engagement with the Central Bank of Nigeria through the Department of Consumer Protection, and I'm glad that the director is here with us, Mr. Salam Alada, and he's going to also speak to us a bit at the appropriate time. And we have had to advocate for the elevation of consumer literacy in its agenda. We also had extensive engagement with the Nigerian Education Research Development Council to advocate for the inclusion of financial literacy in the curriculum of secondary schools. Similarly, we have been at the forefront of driving the conversation at the national level for increased consumer education and awareness. We've had a series of publications in newspapers to mark the Savings Day, the International Women's Day, and the Global Money Week. We've had media tours to numerous radio stations, and we have carried a campaign to television stations also. We also continue to maintain presence in the social media space and to drive this agenda that remains sacred to the heart of this NGO. As elites, we carry a huge moral burden to ensure that we safeguard the interests of every Nigerian and remain strong advocates for a society where the rights of consumers of services and products are protected. The societal obligation we owe to one another is captured in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, and I quote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." The mutual trust between providers and consumers of goods and services is an important ingredient in the functioning of any society, and we all share in the obligation to uphold this relationship. As a nation, we have survived failures of several sectors in the past. However, we stand no chance of any meaningful progress in a failed system where the relationship is not respected. Therefore, it behoves on us all to ensure that the providers of these services continue to enjoy the trust of consumers and vice versa. Finding the right balance between the increasing expectation of consumers and the interest of the service providers remains paramount as we continue to strive for a society that is worthy of bequeathing to the next generations of Nigerians. In many countries around the world, and very recently in Nigeria, we have seen significant expansion of innovation of products, services, and technology to deepen the reach of financial services, including new economic activities and previously excluded segments such as the small businesses and communities in the lower income class. These innovations have also supported improved efficiencies in the cost and delivery of financial services to the public. However, there are two sides to a coin. As part of the efforts of CAFEI to finding a workable solution to these challenges, we interacted with a wide range of stakeholders, and from our experience, one fact stands out. Individuals, organizations, and regulators are genuinely concerned about forging inclusive progress and sustainably shared prosperity. Without expectations, all these stakeholders seek solutions that address the challenges of consumer protection in a manner that protects both the suppliers of these goods and services and the products as well as the consumers. The solutions we are looking for will lie both in empowering consumers to make moral informed decisions and in strengthening the market conduct practices of institutions through effective regulations and enforcement. I am positive that you will all agree with me that one without the other is wholly inadequate. The launch of CAFEI coincides with a period when the global attention is turning towards development in the financial inclusion and consumer protection. The need for stronger international cooperation on consumer protection has always been acknowledged by the G20 leaders who called on regulators to examine options to advance consumer protection through informed choice that include disclosures, transparency, and education, as well as protect people from fraud and abuses. This development reflects the increasingly global dimension of services in which weak consumer protection can have repercussions that extend beyond national borders. With countries at different stages in the implementation of market conduct and consumer education framework, there is numerous potential to learn from each other, thereby building capacity more quickly and evenly to implement better framework in every country. It is therefore a welcome development when the President, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, passed the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act into law, despite series of attempts by various governments to establish a law that provides protection for Nigerian consumers. This new law came into effect on the 6th of February 2019 and has moved the conversation on protecting Nigerian consumers from mere rhetoric to enforceable law through the establishment of the FCCP tribunal. And this is to drive compliance with the regulations. By this token, Nigeria has joined the League nations leading the change in protection of consumers. On behalf of CAFEI, let me place on record my sincere pleasure to be able to host the launch of this change agenda towards driving consumer awareness and financial enlightenment in Nigeria. We appreciate the opportunity to be part of this important history-making initiative, and we value the close collaboration that has been built with the numerous regulators, agencies, and other bodies who continue to maintain our valued alliance in this battle to ensure no single Nigerian is left behind in this journey for a prosperous nation. I do hope that ultimately, and with the help of us all in this room, we will find that middle ground, big enough to accommodate all stakeholders, including the teeming consuming public, in pursuit of their various aspirations. Thank you all, and God bless you.